Hey, it's Michelle Butt, and it's time for another Face Life Friday. And today I wanted to take the next step on some of the things that we'd been talking about over the last couple of Face Life Fridays. I know that we talked a little bit about relationships and how you can learn how to relate better to people that you're in relationship with when you are in disagreement and when you're in agreement. But I wanted to talk about really one of the most important communication aspects of being in relationship with anyone. So whether that is your partner or a colleague or a child or a sibling, there is one very important key that is where everything begins. And it really is the jumping off point for facial intelligence work. So when we see the world, we tend to see the world the way we see the world. We experience the things we love because they have meaning for us. We experience the things we don't like because they have meaning for us as well. But everyone else sees the world in that same way, but from their perspective. So I might hear a certain song and it may bring up really cherished, wonderful memories. But someone else might hear the same song and it brings up not so good memories. And yet it's the same experience. So facial intelligence really helps us to look at people and understand that despite the similarity in the experience, the meaning and the connotation and the perception of that experience is going to be very different based on each of our individual designs. So what that means is that when you are trying to establish connections with people, establish them and then maintain them over the long time, over the long haul, we must remember that that person sees the world from their point of view. And we can try and share our point of view with them, but they are still going to process our point of view in their own framework. And that really is the key. So what I like to do is remind you, and I'm sure before when we were doing the Fun Fact Friday series, this came up, but I think it's really important to reiterate it here again because this is the most important thing about communication, is that there is a rule called the Golden Rule, and we all have heard it in some way or other. And basically that rule says, do unto others the way you would like to be done unto. So basically, I treat you the way I would want to be treated because that, makes a lot of sense. And it has for a really long time. But it is also the place where disconnect happens. Because if I like to be treated a certain way, and my face says that I like to meet over a meal, I want to really have deep, soul-searching conversations, then I'm going to expect that the person that's on the other side of me that I am trying to connect with is going to feel the same way. They're going to want to have a deep soul-searching conversation over a meal. But that's me, and that's how I want to be treated. But that person, if they don't have a nurturer sage kind of face, then that may not be the way they want to be treated, especially from a communication standpoint. They are going to want me to treat them the way they want to be treated. So they may prefer to have a very matter-of-fact conversation while going for a walk because they're very much a royal, warrior combination. And so for them, that is more comfortable and a better space to have a communication point happen. So if I understand that, and I really do want to connect with that royal warrior, then potentially I would say something that would make the two sides satisfied. So I would treat them the way they want to be treated, but also take into account the way I want to be treated. So it might be, how about we go for a walk to the coffee shop so that we can sit down for a minute and have some coffee, but we can also go for a walk and have some conversation over the 2 points so that they're comfortable and I'm comfortable. And so that is the upgrade to the golden rule. It's to understand that we want to treat people the way they want to be treated, but we don't discount the way we want to be treated. And you find that sweet spot that is the best of where you want to be and the best of where they want to be, so that then you can build a really, really strong rapport that becomes sustainable. So that, I'm going to leave that there for today because we're over 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, these videos are taking longer than they used to. But I really want to bring that point home, is that in order to really establish connection with other people, especially if they're colleagues or people that you're very, very close to, is that you want to understand how they want to be treated and then find a way to satisfy how you want to be treated and find that sweet spot that is the melding of both of those places that will maximize the connection and keep the relationship strong and going and get you to the purpose, whatever the purpose of that interaction may be. So we'll expand on this more as we go through this series, but for now, enjoy your weekend and I will see you next Friday. Bye for now.